babies, welcome back again to a new episode of our almost daily yapping sessions. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you had a lovely day. Again, we are talking about Euphoria, the last episode, which is episode number 6. If you watch it, you are welcome to listen to my analyzing each character. If you haven't watched it yet, I prefer not to listen to me right now. Just go watch it and then check my video later. So first of all, first impression about this episode. No, I wasn't really shocked. I wasn't really surprised, but it was like, I wouldn't say less than what I was expecting, but like less chaos than the usual. And of course, this episode, it's like it opens with Alamo Brown. I hope I am pronouncing his name correctly. And I really think that his character is very important to the show. Like, to me, it adds a little bit atmosphere to the show. It adds some sort of vibe. And I know that a lot of people don't like him, or they started not to like Euphoria because of his character, because it turned out to be like, it's taking a different path, not the usual Euphoria that everyone is used to it, right? But hear me out. Everything is connected. We are all connected as humans, right? No matter what is your background, what is your story, what is your life, what is your age, we are all connected. And this is something we already saw, for him, I feel like his scenes don't feel emotional the way that we see with every character. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like it, because it feels like everything he does, it's almost calculated, right? Even when he's speaking in a nice way, for example, to Maddie, and they were like a little bit vibing, there was still pressure underneath that softness, or that soft side of him. And of course, the flashback with his childhood explain it. I mean, we all saw it. You see how manipulation and survival becomes normal for him every single time. I feel like, because he's a person who grew up from an early age, witnessed all these things. From whom? From his mother, literally. So I feel like that's why the adult Alamo, he's like moving through life, through situations, through everything, like literally someone who's already 10 steps ahead, and he's like realizing and seeing everything. And I'm talking about, when I say 10 steps ahead, I'm talking about emotionally. So we cut back to Rue and then to him, alright? So Rue, around him, around Alamo, she's thinking that she can be safe or something like that, which is crazy. I mean, despite the things that she have been through, they almost buried her, like all of her body except for her head, and she was almost going to lose her head. It's crazy. I don't know how she is thinking, but of course I'm not going to judge Rue. She's going through a lot right now. But if you noticed, like, she looks calmer than before, than she was in season 2 or 1. You know, remember she was like always crashing out and snapping and venting in front of everyone. But this season, she's more calm. I wouldn't say she's thinking, because I don't think she's thinking. But unfortunately, that's not healthier at all. Like, even if she stopped taking drugs, she's still not doing good, you know? And this is a huge difference, I would say. And of course, there is this scene where she's sitting, listening to him talking, and you can almost see her trying to convince herself that she's safe. But us, the audience, we can see it, we can feel it, we can actually realize that there is something horrible is about to happen, or at least there's something wrong the entire time. And I feel like their dynamic is very, very strange, and I feel like that's why it feels very uncomfortable for us to watch it. And if you noticed, of course, Alamo, he doesn't really yell all the time, and he doesn't panic. If you notice, he's like always, I don't know, he's like always calm. Like, he's just watching people carefully and like observing, right? And of course, poor Rue, because she's of course emotionally tired and exhausted, and she's like almost done, she's really start to mistake everything, mistake this calmness, and she's thinking that it's a trust. It's not a trust. I think there is like something bigger is about to happen for sure. And I'm excited for the next episode, and we'll see what's going to happen. So yeah, we will go back to them, but let's just go with the same rhythm as the episode, which is they were cutting to Cassie's scene when she was filming. And to be honest with you, these scenes, they were like, to me, they were like the best in this episode, because you can literally see how she is losing, almost, she's starting to lose her mind. She's starting to, you know, snap in front of everyone, because what was that when she was acting? Like, the first thing, she was like following the script, right? Everyone was like on set, everyone was like relaxed, everyone was like, you know, the scene is like just moving in a very natural, professional way, right? But then of course, suddenly Cassie, she's changing the tone, and I can always see that when I can see it from her eyes, which is so funny. She had like something to do with her eyes, and I know that she's about to lose it, really. She's about to say something crazy. And of course, it's like, I don't know how to say this in a very nice way. I will try my best to say it in a nice way. So I feel like everyone was like, what the hell is going on? Because everyone was like suddenly feeling uncomfortable, and of course it's her sister, first of all, and then of course the director, she was like confused, and then I think that the rest of the crew, the writer, she was like, I didn't write this, blah blah blah. And then suddenly, even actually the actor, just, I don't know what's his name, he's like, he was off, because it really, at that moment, it really stops feeling like she's acting. She's actually saying what she's feeling. So it was like more personal. And that's, I feel, something that made the scene powerful, but of course in a very strange way. And of course it turned out for the best for her, if you noticed that, because they were like shocked, but then they were like, well, if you're going to continue to do this or that, then you should do this and that. Again, I'm not saying everything, because I think some people did not even watch the episode yet. At least I know 2 of my friends, they still haven't watched it yet. So yeah, if you are listening to me, you did not watch the episode, save my video and come back to it later. So, as I was saying, Cassie, unfortunately, she's not acting anymore. She is emotionally, as they say, bleeding into this role because of her life, because of what is happening in her life. She's like really, really, like everything is like collapsing. And of course, I'm not going to say anything about Nate so far. We're gonna leave Nate at the end. And yeah, this thing, what happened to her, I feel like a lot of people can go through the same thing, you know, like this emotional roller coaster, unstable feelings, let's say. And of course, sometimes when you're going through something like that, you can't separate, you know, I feel like reality from acting, you know, like you cannot separate performance from reality. And of course this is in her case. But again, I feel like because she's also some sort of crazy positive, because she thinks that she will get everything she wants. So again, it turned out that she's getting the role, not just for a scene. Now they're going to put her in the whole show. And I feel like this is actually a good thing. I mean, bravo to her. But again, it's so crazy with everything that she's going through. I will continue talking about her, but I just remembered something. I need to jump to it because it's very important. I want to talk about this slap scene. I mean, that was crazy because it really happened so fast. But like, it was really off, you know, it was really completely shifting the whole energy of the episode, because I kind of felt really sad for Rue, you know, when she was in the elevator. You know me, I am an empath. So I was like, oh my god, this is like heartbreaking, because she wanted to, you know, she wanted really a peaceful life, and she thought that the only person who will understand this is the person that she loves, which is Jules, of course. But Jules, I don't know what to say, Jules, she's in her world. And let's face it, also, I mean, I think Rue, she was out of line a little bit because it was too much. She doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Really, like sometimes you just need to shut up, don't say anything. But she never. So I think the slap itself wasn't even the most important part. It was, I feel like, everyone's reaction after. And yeah, of course, the silence after that thing, oh my god, it was so heavy. Then the actual hit, and oh my god, when the painting like fell on her, like it it was crazy. That was like a huge scene for me, you know, like I was never expecting that Jules will act in that way. But now I know, again, you see, I said that. I love when I'm so right. I love that. I'm flexing right now, by the way. I really like it because I see patterns. I recognize it. It's like an open book for me, so I understand what's going to happen next. You can tell. That's why I'm like analyzing everything and telling you, because it's beautiful. Just don't judge the show because of, again, the actors in reality. No, just judge it for them, for the characters, and comparing them to real life, because we see this type of people, right? And of course, yes, back to these two, you can feel like years of tension, betrayal, and jealousy, and humiliation, and of course resentment when it comes to Jules. It really just suddenly exploding in 1 second. And unfortunately it was Rue. It should have been Nate or his father, rest in peace, Eric. But like, it was Rue. She got that slap. And I feel like what really made it realistic is that nobody immediately turned into some dramatic movie like villain after. Everybody was just like shocked, you know, like everyone was like looking shocked and angry and of course embarrassed. Messy for sure, really messy. I'm not sure if they're going to meet again, but of course they will, because this is the whole point of the show. But I cannot imagine what's going to happen when they meet again, or if they're going to end up together. I don't know. So let's go back a tiny bit to Cassie and then move to Nate, and then of course to Maddie. Cassie especially, she looks like someone who's reached this emotional overload. Like she's been holding this pressure inside of her for like too long. And now every single situation, it will be unpredictable. Trust me on that. She will snap. She will behave in a different way. And I think she won't be able to continue or to finish this filming of this project, whatever it is, because again she is going to the other world, which is the OF world, and I know that this type of things, it will lead to a very disappointing and a very horrible ending. And let's not forget that Maddie, I think she's still holding some grudges, and I think at some point she is getting her revenge. I don't know when, but I think it's coming very soon. So we are done with all of them. Let's go to Nate, or maybe, as I said, I'm going to talk about each scene like we are watching the episode. So we have Nate, of course. He enters again, trying to control everything as usual. But of course in this episode we didn't see much of him. But he keeps showing up like that. He's losing this ability to work, this ability to get his life together. And there is of course this scene where he's trying to manage the investor situation connected to Cassie's online image. And of course you can literally see he's frustrated, and then he started to step on the flowers, and of course that guy is following him. I don't know, maybe this time he's going to chop his arm. I have no idea. But of course there is this scene where, okay, what happened to the music? Just a second. Okay, this is much better, and I think this is more like my mood. So I just want to say something about Nate. Nate loves control more than any type of connection. You have to know that, because he's a narcissist. So when Cassie, she starts to become like very uncontrollable publicly, let's say, and of course emotionally, he doesn't really know how to handle it. That's why the relationship feels very dark right now. It's not romantic, it's not exciting, it's just unstable, just two-person, like, what's the word, stumbling around and doesn't know what to do, both of them. And that's crazy. And Maddie, in the other hand, which is one of my favorite characters. First of all, this girl, she's gorgeous, and I love her style so much. I mean, she's really iconic. But let's talk about the character. Maddie, she is someone that is like one of the strongest characters in this show, and I will tell you why, but just give me a second. So she is emotionally very, very strong, and you can tell that, especially when she's watching Cassie moving through these situations, acting like things can still be repaired normally, but it's not. I mean, I know that she's planning for something. You can see, like, Maddie, she's like realizing that the friendship she thought she had is gone completely. And I feel like the saddest thing is that she doesn't really look surprised anymore. She is just disappointed. And I think we can relate to that. I mean, I do, in fact, because for me, I'm a person who have been through a lot, but to be honest, it doesn't show on me. And I think this is something can be intimidating. That's why I feel like I can relate to Maddie a little bit, because she have been through a lot, but it doesn't show on her. And she's intimidating, like her energy is intimidating. And I know, because sometimes when you have like really good heart and you get like, I don't know, you get hurt over and over and over, you reach a point where it doesn't really feel painful or it feels like it hurts. It's just you're disappointed. And this is of course something awful. I really hope that no one is going through such a thing. I genuinely think that, and I believe it, of course, hurt people. It's something we all know. And I think we are going to witness that in the next episode. But, of course, for me and for you, my babies, we are not people who are shaped by hate or by revenge or simply, by putting others in our mind all the time. No. I really couldn't care less for the people who hurt me in the past, because right now I am sure, wouldn't say 100%, I will say 1000% that they are getting their karma. And guess what? I swear to you, I heard a very, very bad news about someone who did me really dirty. They lost, I wouldn't say what they lost, but they lost something really, really big in their lives. And this something, it will break them till the last day of their life. Because I wouldn't say that they lost money, no, and I wouldn't say that they lost, I can't say it, but they lost something really big in their lives. And it will never ever be healed. Because of what? Because it's their karma. And I wouldn't say that I am happy, but I actually laughed about it when I heard it. But then I was like, I feel sorry for them, but not really, really sorry. I mean, I can't be very compassionate with someone who really hurt me so bad, and I know deep down that they are really bad people. No, actually, they deserved it. Really. So, if you were hurt by someone, just leave it. And when you leave it for good, and leave it believing that the universe is getting back. You see, this is confirmation, the sirens. You see? You're getting back your karma. And you don't have to do anything about it. You just need to believe in the universe. That's it. As long as you believe, and as long as you know that you are a good person, and you were only good to people, and you were always walking with good intentions, unlike those people, you get better. Like for me, I'm getting better every single day. My life is improving in every aspect. And I see those people, they are getting worse. And I guess, I get to laugh last. So, trust me when I tell you, if you are trying to get revenge, or if you are trying to hurt someone because they hurt you, don't do that, really. The universe or God or whatever you believe in, if you really, really believe in it, they will get your revenge for you. And take my word on that. So, let's go back to Euphoria. So, of course, this disappointment when it comes to Maddie, it really hits very hard, more like than screaming or slapping someone like in Rue and Jules. And of course, Rue and Jules also had this weird emotional distance through the episode. Even when they are physically together, there is hesitation, if you noticed, in every interaction. Too much happened between them, but yet you can still actually see it. You can still feel there is love there, but it's buried. It's mistreated, or it's under this mistrust as well, like this things that is happening, which is the addiction, probably guilt, probably both of them actually emotionally exhausted. So I feel like I would love to see them together again, but I don't know if this will happen or not. And their scenes together, it's like almost like these two people trying to reconnect, but it's like you cannot connect something is already broken. It's like a glass, like a broken glass. And yeah, I feel like this episode was really strange, the lighting, the pauses, and everything, the tension between them, everything, it feels like a little bit unreal. Like, if you noticed, I will talk about the last scene because I feel like I talked a lot, but I just need to add a few things. So, last thing about all of them, it's actually finally all of us, we understand and we see that. Okay, what was that? I felt like someone was like knocking on my door. I feel like about episode number 6 is that we finally stopped romanticizing everyone. Nobody looks cool anymore. Nobody looks good or great or, they have their life together. No, none of them. You start actually seeing the consequences. Wait, how to say it? Consequences. You know what I mean, right? Instead of course, the aesthetic. If you remember in season 2, it was amazing. But like, really, honestly, I feel like this made the episode take another direction when it comes to the show, and it gives a lot of meaning. So, last thing, as I said, I wanted to talk about the tree. If you notice the last scene, I feel like it's not really meant to be taken literally, like, oh, there's just a random tree on fire in the middle of the desert. The whole scene, it feels like it's like symbolic, like almost spiritual, I would say. And it's showing you that Rue's emotional and mental state becoming visual. She's like burning. It's like a burnout, actually. And that's actually what it is, a burnout, I guess. And I feel like what made this scene a little bit powerful is that she didn't react with like normal panic as usual, because she's always panicking, right? She got out of the car. Almost she was looking like she was hypnotized by this tree or this fire. Like, she recognized something. It's like something was like clicking in her head, like she got some kind of idea or something. Have you noticed that? Like her eyes. And I think the burning tree represents like few things happening at the same time, at once, which is destruction, because her life has been, of course, collapsing as the rest of them, but in her case I feel like it's for a long time. Like relationships, trust, stability, her family, and I don't know, like even her sense of humor is no longer there. And of course, the other thing that this tree represents is transformation, I would say, because this is how I see fire, or this is like what fire mean in psychology. Fire destroys things, but also it changes things permanently. What is wrong with my tongue today? No, really, what is wrong? Did I smoke too much? Because I don't think so. I just had 2 joints. This is crazy. But yes, so after a fire, there's like nothing returns. Exactly the same. So I feel like this scene was like really fits Rue's character, because this season she's reaching to a point where she can't keep repeating the same emotional cycle over and over and over. Like, that's it, enough, wake up, And the third thing, which is I feel like it can be like a spiritual confusion, because the way that this scene is filmed, it has maybe some sort of religion thing, like biblical way of it. I don't know, like a distorted version of this burning bush story, I guess. I don't really remember it, but like I am connecting this with Alamo's story, because again, this season 3 is about survival. Like, everyone is like on survival mode. It's about morality, it's about destiny, it's about power, it's about corruption. So it's all connected, and yeah, I feel like that's an important thing, because Rue herself, actually, she's lost between all these things, between all these paths, between destruction, between trying to heal, and of course the addiction, and survival, because she's trying to survive 2 gangs, I guess, and the government, because she's about to get in jail, but I don't think so, she's helping. And of course, lastly, she's trying to renew her relationship, I guess, with Jules, when it comes to connection in general. So again, the burning tree almost feel like a warning. I see it as a warning. I don't see it as something like a good sign. Unfortunately, I see it as a warning. It's like front of her. It's not like a punishment, not redemption, but just like this moment is like it's forcing her to see what is happening around her, what is happening inside of her. And of course, like visually, the fire also interrupts the silence, like of this episode, if you notice that. And wait, do I need to change the playlist? I don't think so, because I'm about to finish this. Yeah, I'm about to finish it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about the silence in this episode. Again, as I told you, I feel like this episode was a tiny bit unusual, right? And of course, everything around it, it's like giving you some kind of signs, some kind of symbols, again, more than the direct reality of what's going on or what's happening. So I like it. I really like it this time. I like this episode, and it was a little bit a clean episode, I would say. Was it actually? Thing is, I don't remember every single detail. I hope that I covered everything. But yeah, I think this scene actually is asking one question, which is, I love questions and I love watching things and again thinking about what does it mean. So I feel like what happens, it's asking you, this is exactly what is going to happen to you when someone keeps carrying this pain without releasing it, without cleansing, without actual healing. And I feel like we should all reflect on that, not because we relate to some of the characters or not. Probably we don't even relate to the characters, but we relate on one thing, which is the process of healing and the process of, being distracted by things and harming ourselves by doing a self-destruction, by doing crazy things, thinking that we are doing good and we are just having fun. But in reality, actually, we're not. We're just destroying ourselves. So I would always recommend you to ask yourself, have you completely healed? Have you released everything inside of you that was caused by people or by situations or by anything that made you the way you are today? Think about it and let me know if you come up with an answer. I love you. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I hope my analyzing was entertaining for you. I wish you a great day. I wish you a wonderful night. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself, my lovers, my babies, my beautiful souls. Remember that you live only one time, and especially in this lifetime, let's say. So make the best out of it for yourself and be proud of yourself for who you are.